Hi guys, Cine K here. Today, I'm going to recap a 2017 Korean action thriller movie called The Villainess. The film is about a female assassin who is arrested by the police after committing a massacre of a group of gangsters. However, she is not sent to jail, but rather used by the police to be an intelligence agent to do secret missions, such as killing dangerous criminals. The intelligence agency promises her that she can have a normal life after working for them for 10 years. How is her new life as an intelligence agent? Does she finally have a normal life? Let's find out together. A little kid named Suk is hiding under her bed while two men are intimidating her father. One of the men whistles and then stabs her father in the heart. Unfortunately, the killers find her shortly after and sell her as a whore at a very young age. When an old man is about to touch her, a man named Sang comes to save her. It turns out that Sang is a professional assassin and he trains a lot of assassin candidates. He also trains Suk to be a S-class assassin under his wing even though she is very young. Her training to be an assassin slowly raises her desire to take revenge for her father's death. Many years later, Suk finally manages to track one of her father's killers. When Suk thinks that she makes that man cornered, she just finds out that she falls into his trap. His men have already been waiting inside that house. Surprisingly, that man says that he isn't the one who killed her father. If that is true, then who was her father's killer? Fortunately, Sang suddenly comes when that man is going to torture Suk. He kills all the enemies, including that man. As Suk reaches adulthood, Sang decides to marry Suk, his own pupil, and then go for their honeymoon. While they are enjoying their time together, Sang receives a call saying that one of his men is in danger and needs his help. Soon after that, Suk is informed that her husband is killed. She is then told that Sang has been looking for her father's real killer all this time. And just now, he was killed while trying to save one of his men who was taken hostage by the killer. She is so furious knowing that and asks for her father's real killer location. Suk comes to that location alone and it turns out that there are a lot of gangsters inside that place. It seems that it would be hard for Suk to eliminate them all. However, she manages to kill them one by one with her superb assassin skills. Finally, she manages to reach the gangsters' leader's room, who is suspected to be the person who killed her father and husband. It's more challenging for her this time as the men inside that room are stronger. But still, she finally finishes them all by herself and ultimately kills the leader by using a rope. When Suk is about to escape after that massacre, a police force suddenly arrives and surrounds her. There is no way for her to flee and she is finally arrested. However, it seems that the police department has another plan for her. Knowing her capability to eliminate that many gangsters alone, they don't simply send her to jail. Instead, they put her in an intelligence agency training program. That's an elite secret training program which creates cold-blooded and skilled intelligence agents to help the police by doing dangerous secret missions. They perform a plastic surgery on her to give her a new identity. One day, when they emit the anesthetic gas on Suk, she pretends to faint and then attacks the workers when they are about to bring her somewhere. She tries to escape from that place but she can't find a way out. Apparently, the rooms in that building are mind-blowing. First, she gets into a ballet room. Then enters a kitchen where a cooking class is being held. When she is about to get caught, she uses one of the workers as a hostage. After that, she enters a theater room and ends up in a makeup room. In that room, there is a woman who seems to want to help her out and she shows Suk the exit. That woman jumps first and Suk immediately follows her, but that woman shoots her but luckily she is still alive. It turns out that the woman is Kwon, the head of the intelligence agency program. She tells Suk that they faked Suk's death. She also tells her that Suk is pregnant. However, she offers Suk freedom on the condition that Suk has to work as an intelligence agent for 10 years. Suk agrees. Before being given her first mission, Suk is trained to do many things to support her daily life, such as cooking, doing makeup, and playing drama. That's so she can blend with society while she is on a mission. A few months later, Suk finally gives birth to her child, who she named Eun. She raised her child at that place because she is still in training. Besides being trained to do daily work, Suk is trained to fight. It looks like Suk is having a duel with an arrogant woman who just defeated her best friend. But that woman turns out to be no match for Suk, as Suk is able to read all of her attacks and easily knocks her down. Their battle is apparently being watched by the officials of that intelligence agency. One of the officials, named Hyun, seems to have feelings for Suk. After months of intensive training, finally Suk gets her first mission, which is to kill a samurai. They engage into a tense duel as they are equally agile and skilled. But Suk finally manages to kill the samurai after he does a reckless act. Samurai's men suddenly come and find out that their boss is killed. They chase her, but instead some of them are killed by Suk. Suddenly 2 police cars block their way and Suk decides to jump into the river. She manages to escape and successfully finish her first mission as an intelligence agent. After finishing her first mission, Suk officially graduates from the training program and is ready to work professionally. Now, Suk lives with a new identity and new place to live. Suddenly on the elevator, she meets one of the intelligence agency officials, Hyun, who seems to be assigned to monitor her. But Suk doesn't recognize him as she never saw him before. Hyun lives next door to her, and because of that, they often spend their time together and they are getting closer day by day. When they are alone and ready to make love, Suk suddenly receives a call from Min, her best friend during the training program. Apparently, she asks for Suk's help to conduct her first mission, which is to retrieve data from a gangster's phone. They pretend to be Hor and Suk successfully retrieves the data from that man's phone. But when she gets out from the toilet, she is so surprised because the targets know what she is doing inside. They get into a fight, and then Suk thinks that the targets are already dead. But one of the targets attacks and kills Min. She is very sad to have lost someone she considers as her own sister. Luckily, Hyun is there to calm her. One day, Hyun and Suk decide to get married and Suk still gets a mission a moment before her wedding reception. The mission is to kill someone using a sniper from the toilet. She assembles the weapon and starts aiming at the target. But she is so surprised when she realizes that her target is her ex-husband, Sang, who is supposed to have died a long time ago. However, she is not very sure about it as she hasn't seen him for a long time. She misses her shot and fails the mission. Meanwhile, Sang and his men are investigating the shooting. He finds out that the place where the sniper was potentially aiming from was holding a wedding reception of someone who looks like his ex-wife. To make sure of it, he attends Suk's drama and now it seems like he already recognizes that woman. Suk and Hyun are having dinner together after the show. When Hyun goes to the toilet, Sang comes to her table in order to secretly kill her, but then he finally decides not to do it. He just tells her that he is her die-hard fan and leaves her. However, they still pretend not to recognize each other. Apparently, Sang is secretly recording the conversation between Hyun and his boss. It turns out that Suk and Hyun's marriage is only a part of Hyun's mission. And now, he has an evil plan with this recording. On the other hand, Kwon finds out that Suk meets Sang, her target. She suspects that there is something between Suk and Sang. However, Suk denies it and tells her that Sang is just her fan and it's all just a coincidence. A few days later, Suk receives a bouquet from Sang, who pretends to be her fan. There is a flash disk and his phone's number 2 inside the bouquet. It turns out that the flash disk contains the recording of Hyun's conversation with his boss. Suk is so disappointed and heartbroken knowing that her marriage is just a mission. Then she sends Sang a message through the phone number, warning him that a woman is going to kill him. Therefore, Sang has already anticipated Suk's friend's arrival to kill him. Since the mission to kill Sang failed, Kwon suspects Suk has leaked their plan. She catches Suk, but a group of gangsters suddenly attack their car. Apparently, those gangsters are Sang and his men who are trying to save Suk. Lucky for Kwon, she manages to escape. Sang and Suk finally recognize each other and he drives her home. When Suk was about to enter her apartment, a bomb exploded from her room. Hyun and her daughter are found dead after jumping through the balcony. She is so depressed and suspects Kwon has something to do with it. But Kwon tells her that it was not her. She shows her a CCTV recording of her apartment as evidence. When Hyun and Eun arrived at her apartment, Sang's men had already been waiting for them. One of them tells Hyun that Suk was supposed to be dead at the night when she massacred a group of mafias. It's because Sang's death was just a scenario to kill Suk. Sang expected Suk to be killed when she got into that gangster headquarters. But instead, Suk managed to kill all those gangsters. So, they had to kill Un now as Un is not supposed to be born. Han tried to fight Sang's men, but he was outnumbered. When he woke up from faint, he ran to save himself and Un, but he was too late. Now, Suk knows that the one behind this is Sang. She comes to Sang's headquarters with full anger and shoots Sang's men one by one, even though they were her friends. After killing a lot of them, she finally finds Sang. The first question she asks is, "Did you ever love me?" Sang answers the question by saying that he used to love her, but because he killed her father, he couldn't love her anymore. Suk couldn't believe what she heard. It turns out that all this time, Sang is her father's real killer. She is so enraged and challenges him for a death match. Their fight is very fierce. However, when they run out of stamina, Sang's men tell Sang that the cops are coming, so he decides to flee. Suk successfully chases their bus and fights Sang with his men alone. When she is cornered, she cuts the bus driver arm and the bus flips over. Sang is now injured. Suk is one step away from killing Sang, but it seems hard for her to kill someone she used to love. However, Sang suddenly whistles and makes her remember the whistling sound she hears at the night her father was killed. Suk finally loses control of herself and kills Sang instantly. In the end, she finally got her revenge, but it didn't change anything as we can't change our past. What do you think? Does Sang really love Suk? Or is this all just a plan? Comment your answer. And that's where the story ends. If you like this video, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe. Also hit the notification bell to get updated on every video that we upload. Thank you and have a great day.